It's time to start our monthly commission meeting, the Utah Department of Alcohol Beverage Services. We welcome each of you. I'm Chair Stephen Handy, and we welcome each of you. We're going to begin, as we always do, with a Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Stephanie Hansen, our off-premise program manager. And so if you'll please stand and have Stephanie lead us off. Here we go. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We welcome each of you here this morning, those of you who are online and those of you who are present here in the multi-state office building in Salt Lake City. We have a pretty straightforward agenda. The commissioners have had multiple meetings in preparing for the agenda, guided by our excellent staff, and so we'll be able to proceed. Just a couple of announcements here, and that is that we have a couple of meetings, two more meetings in this year, this calendar year, November 20th. We'll be here in the multi-office building, state office building, and then on December 18th, and that's a little early because of Christmas, and we'll be here on December 18th. We have, as you know, a couple of closures coming up for our stores. Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and of course, the November 27th is the Thanksgiving holidays, Thanksgiving Day. I'd like to indicate that anyone public comments, you should be signing up already, and Melissa will guide us on that. There's a form at the back entrance if any of you would like to address the commission at the conclusion of our agenda. Right now, I'd like to welcome my fellow commissioners. They are here, Juliet Tennant, Commissioner Orton, Commissioner Owens, Commissioner Toohey, Commissioner Conaby, and our Vice Chair to my right, Jennifer Terrazon. I'll also like to recognize our staff here this morning. To my left is Department Director, Executive Director Erica Evans, Todd Darrington, our Deputy Director of Finance and Administration, Brian Swan here as our Deputy Director of Legal and Regulatory Affairs, Jeremy Summerlath here, Managing Director of Operations, Doug Murakami that we'll be hearing from, Director of Alcohol Education, Sam McHenry, Assistant Attorney General, Michelle Schmidt in the audience, who's the Communications Director. Craig Ware, our Compliance Manager, is here at the dais with us. Rob Hansen here is dressed for Halloween. I guess. Are you? No, there you go. He's Training Program Manager. And Stephanie Hansen, who is our off-premise program manager who guided us in the pledge. Yeah, Aaron Hinkle is our Violations Program Manager. Jeff Colvin, hello, Jeff. Package Agency and Manufacturing Program Manager. And here helping us with our technical duties, Joe Ferrari and Steve Lucero. We welcome to our meeting and our commission meeting, Melissa Suarez. And she is replacement of Vicki Ashby, who's retired. And we'll talk about that at the end of the agenda and wish Vicki well. So let's continue with the agenda, and we'll be pleased to hear from you, Doug. You've handed out to each one of us a terrific annual report, and we'll be pleased to hear from you now.
Great. Thank you, Chair Handy. Good morning, commissioners. I do want to talk a little bit about our Parents Empowered annual report. You have the hard copy, but you also were emailed a digital copy. They're both equally exciting and fun. The digital copy, there's clickable links where you can access our TV, radio promotions, and the same is with this hard copy. There's some QR codes in there that'll take you right to our website and those TV spots and promotions and whatnot from the past year. Let's see. So, following today's commission meeting in this same building, Executive Director Evans and myself will be presenting the annual report to the Utah Substance Use and Mental Health Advisory Committee. This is the committee that oversees the Parents Empowered campaign, and we're mandated by statute to present our annual report to them every year. So that's what will be right after the meeting. The annual report features a compilation of Parents Empowered's campaign strategies, underage drinking data, our approach and performance metrics, and it also highlights the many local community mobilization efforts. So hope you have time to kind of scan through that and see some of the wonderful activities and data that we did last year. I'd also like to point out that in our community mobilization efforts, we have what we call our community partnership projects. On page 20, you'll see a heat map, if you will, of the state, and it kind of places dots or heat markers where we've done these local community partnership events. Most of these events are the projects that we have applications for every year. One of the questions that came up was, what about Grand County over there in Moab? And we have spoken with the regional prevention director in the area. She's indicated that they recently hired a coalition coordinator, and they're well on their way to establishing their prevention efforts in that area. So we're hoping to see some activity in that area soon. Also, Parowan, Iron County, in the Four Corners, we listed them. They've got some fun Parents Empowered messaging. They actually came to us in hopes of partnering with us and actually came up with their own funding to pay for our messaging. So it's just a great example of their commitment to preventing underage drinking in their own communities. Also, at the end of the report, after our Parents Empowered report, you'll find the Eliminating Alcohol Sales to Youth, or EASY, annual report. This is compiled by the Utah Department of Public Safety and the Utah Highway Safety Office. This is the data that represents law enforcement compliant checks throughout Utah in the past year. It's nice to see they reported 96.91% pass rate for compliance checks. That's where law enforcement officers send in undercover underage purchasers for alcohol. And so we're happy to see that 96% pass rate. Also, in addition, there were 33 law enforcement agencies that participated in this program, which is up from past years. So we're excited that that's going well. Lastly, I do have a new TV spot that I'd like to show, if I may. It runs quick. It's only a 15-second spot. And so, yeah, you got to really pay attention in order to catch it.
Alcohol sounds scary for kids' brains, Dad.
In fact, your disapproval of alcohol is the #1 reason they don't drink. So set clear rules. No drinking underage.
I'm not sure if we can play that again to catch it, but part of the strategy is that parents are the #1 and the biggest influence in our child's life. So let's see if we can roll that one more time.
You're a bigger influence on your kids than you realize.
Alcohol sounds scary for kids' brains, Dad.
In fact, your disapproval of alcohol is the #1 reason they don't drink. So set clear rules. No drinking underage.
So that's the first, and that's been launched already. Hopefully you'll be seeing that on TV. And we have 5 different TV spots, very similar in nature in terms of using that big influence theme. So that completes my report, Chair. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Doug. This is very impressive. Thank you for your excellent work. I just perusing this quickly this morning, I see 6, I mean, the highlight is 2023 Utah youth alcohol use continues to trend far below national averages. I mean, that's very impressive. And then there's a good graph there to look at that. And of course, then, you know, you mentioned EASY, the EASY report here at the end of the report, which stands for Eliminating Alcohol Sales to Youth Report. So I thought that was important to call out too. I'm looking forward to spending some more time with this and the digital version as well. Thank you very much. Any comments from commissioners? Anyone? Commissioner Tui?
Yeah, I was also looking at the, on page 6 and 7, the key findings on alcohol youth trends. I do think it's important to reiterate that I think the effectiveness of this campaign and the data prove out that it's working. And I want to commend Doug and his partners that do these ad campaigns. I just want to point out the effectiveness of the ad campaigns. Notably, when we talk about alcohol use with youth and the perceived parental acceptability data that the SHARP survey lays out, alcohol use over the lifetime of the youth is only 80%, or excuse me, 8% when the parent says it's very wrong. When the parent says it's not wrong at all, that number goes up to 59%. So I wanted to point that out and just remind folks that, you know, we can share this information with students, we can have clever campaigns with youth, but again, I think parental accountability and communication is really key. So I appreciate that a lot of what we do is focused on parental education and empowering parents to take that that message home in their own family. Also, Chair, on the EASY survey results, I did note that let's see, on page 61, when we're talking about successes and challenges, I think that we still have some work to do in encouraging our local public safety partners to continue to participate with the alcohol enforcement team doing compliance checks. Notably, the 96.91% compliance pass rate is very impressive, right? But I think that we could use more help from our public safety partners to make sure that our licensees are following the laws that the legislature and the commission and the department have to make sure that we are safely serving alcohol in our communities. So I appreciate those results being noted here. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tui. Any other comments, commissioners? Thank you very much for your work again, Doug. And we look forward to you each month providing a report to us. This is the annual report, and I know that you and Director Evans in the SAFE meeting, it will go very well. Todd Darrington now, our financial director, will give us a report on the financial update.
Thank you, Chair Handy. Good morning, Commission. The financial report for today's meeting covers the period through September 30th of 2025. On this day before Halloween, I don't have anything scary to offer. Revenues for this period were $21.1 million, or an increase in total revenue of 3% from the same period last year. You will note that retail sales are staying flat, as we would expect, at a decrease of about 1.5 at the retail operations, but increased at our package agencies and our military operations. We again benefit from the decline in cost of goods sold outpacing the flattening of retail sales, and that's why we were able to have a net increase in revenues. Expenses for this period were $7.9 million, and that led to an expected transfer for the general fund in this period of $8.1 million, on pace right now for about $13.9 million overall, a healthy position and well within expectations of our financial position. Are there any questions I can answer for the Commission this morning?
Commissioner Conaby, please.
Thank you. I think we all understand why data processing and salaries and benefits will go up substantially year over year, but can you explain credit card fees, why they might double?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were to look back at the July and August reports, that number was 0. And it was just a timing issue when we got the billing transactions from the credit card company.
Great, thank you.
You bet.
Any other comments? I see none. Todd, thank you very much for you and your staff, your excellent, excellent work.
Thank
It's
you.
much, much appreciated. Now we will have Director Evans and Jeremy, our operations update. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I do want to start out by just publicly thanking Vicki Ashby. You noted that she has retired, which all of us have had a lot of big feelings about. She's been the steady in this department for such a long time and really couldn't have asked for a better executive assistant. I don't think anybody was more committed to the success of our team, the success of DABS, and we are missing her deeply and will continue to do so. I also want to thank Melissa specifically for making sure that we were taken care of before this commission meeting. I think we all learned how much Vicki did and to support you all to make sure we were successful each month. So just want to publicly thank her. No one like her and we miss her. So and then I'll pivot over to some of our changes as far as reporting lines and structure. Most of you know that Jeremy Summerloth has been serving as interim managing director of operations and division director over compliance for some time. Straddling those two roles, we've officially moved him over to managing director of operations, so he'll be serving in that capacity going forward. And to serve over our compliance team, we have Brian Swan remaining as Deputy Director of Legal and Regulatory Affairs, and then Craig War, who stepped in as our Compliance Administrator, and really excited to have him in this role and his expertise. And a couple other changes. We've asked Michelle Schmidt to step into the role of Managing Director of Communications and External Affairs. Largely what she has been doing, just an acknowledgement of that, and really her role in developing strategic communications for the department. So excited to have her there as well. And then I just want to mention our rare and high demand product drawing this month, RHDP for short. So we received a little over 2,500 entries for individuals wanting to purchase a bottle of Old Forester birthday bourbon. 18 individuals were randomly selected and able to purchase for $200. Outside of Utah, this product goes for about $1,000. So just want to acknowledge the success of that and stay tuned for other drawings in the future. So with that, I'll turn it over to our Managing Director of Operations, Jeremy, to cover a couple more operations bullet points.
Oh, thank you, Director. I really appreciate that. Chair, good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Two things I wanted to share with you today. The first one, Director Evans and I had the opportunity this week to spend a couple of hours in the warehouse distribution center to understand the process, right? The process, the actual on the ground, boots on the ground process for receiving, warehousing, and shipping. It was really enlightening. We got to meet largely the entire staff and really take a moment to appreciate the work that they do in person. And I want to just now publicly acknowledge them for the hard work and dedication that they provide day in and day out to support the mission of the DABS. It's a lot of work and it's a tiny but mighty team, and I really appreciate their efforts. Secondly, a reminder to store customers. So if you're listening, Halloween masks are not allowed to be worn in state liquor stores today or tomorrow or anytime. Each team member plays an important role for safety for customers and staff in our stores, and those masks interfere with ID checks that we are mandated to do. So we can't see who you are with the mask on. So please don't do that. And that's really all I have. Any questions?
Amen. Thank you, Director Evans. And that's great. That's fun. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but yes. Thank you, Craig and Vicki and Jeremy for accepting additional responsibilities and title adjustments. It's very, very much appreciated. I have the opportunity. I'm going to stop the opportunity to go in front of a couple of legislative committees last week, and I was very sincere, and I know the commissioners agree with me in praising Director Evans, you, and your excellent staff and the excellent service that you're providing to the department and to the citizens of Utah. And it is sincerely meant and expressed. So thank you to each of you. Brian, we have now a rule update that was discussed with us, a little technical change, I call it, discussed with us in our subcommittees. So the time is now yours to discuss that with us.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to the Commission. As we discussed in the subcommittees, we are proposing a rule revision. It is to revise Rule 82-1-105. This pertains to label approvals. Very minor technical change. Essentially, we want to remove the capital letter requirement on the labels for the alcohol statements, as well as just a technical correction of the numeral codification that falls under those subsections. So it is for your consideration. If the commission agrees to it, we need a vote to approve and move that on to the posting in the public bulletin. That would be a 30-day public comment period, after which we would review those. The commission would review those public comments, if any, and then move it on to a formal promulgation and approval.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. I think you have an opportunity to review this. If someone would like to make a motion in a second, then we'll have an opportunity for any further discussion.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to change Rule 82-1-105 for label approvals as written in the staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner Conaby. In a second, please. Commissioner Owens on the second. Now, Commissioners, any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll place the motion that the rule of revision as proposed is that will be adopted. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is adopted. Thank you very much. And now to our Assistant Attorney General, Sam McHenry, for our violations presentation on the consent calendar.
Thank you, Chair, Commissioners. We have 13 items on the consent calendar today. All have settlement agreements in place and awaiting commission action. They are considered as a block with one vote unless any of the commissioners would like to discuss any one of the cases individually.
Thank you, Sam. As indicated, and for the public present and those online, we've had the opportunity to review in depth and in our folders see the legal documentation regarding these settlement of these violations, and had the opportunity to ask the questions as they arose. So if we're ready for a motion, and then if there's any discussion, we can do that. But I don't think, unless anyone wants to pull any of these out, that we can approve them as a block. Okay, a motion, please. To approve, Commissioner Conaby?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve the 13 agenda items under the consent calendar.
Thank you. Vice Chair Terrazon?
Oh, second.
A second, please. Thank you. Yeah, you were getting ready to do that. Thank you. Commissioners, any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll place the motion and call for a vote. All in favor of those approving the on the consent calendar item 8A, the violations as presented, the adjudication, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That those pass. Thank you very much, Sam, for all of that work, and those who work on this, Aaron as well, who work on this. All right, Director Evans, we're going to talk about the licensee recognitions.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So this month, if you look up on the screen, we have 107 licensees who we are happy to highlight passed they were visited by the Department of Public Safety and passed their undercover investigations, what we largely call CUB investigations. So seeing if they're selling to minors. I just want to thank these businesses for doing good business, for working hard to serve alcohol legally and safely. And you can see they're all across northern Utah. So it's always good when I stop talking before we're done going through the list.
It's all good. Thank you, Director Evans. Any questions or comments from commissioners?
Question, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Conaby?
Do we send them any recognition for that visit or a letter or anything? Should we?
We do.
We
We do.
Great. Thank you.
They don't get a fine.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. All right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to now to Craig Ware, our compliance manager. And Craig's over here, and we'll have our renewal reminder. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Just a reminder, beginning Saturday, November 1st.
Is your mic on?
Yeah,
It is. Okay.
we'll try this one.
That's better.
It's better. Yeah, this is a reminder that beginning Saturday, November 1st, we open up another renewal campaign that will run through November 30th. So if you hold the following licenses or permits, this Saturday, you may begin to submit that renewal application. That's for our local industry representative, our brewery manufacturing, distillery manufacturing, winery manufacturing, public service permit, our certificate of approval for our out-of-state brewers, beer wholesaling, and the liquor warehousing.
All right. Does that conclude your report, Craig?
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Seeing none, we will appreciate that report to you, and then we'll move now to Brian to our consent agenda. And this is a long portion of the agenda that also includes the minutes. So go ahead, Brian. You have a long thing there.
Thank you, Chair. So on the consent agenda for the commission's consideration and approval, we have items A through L that is printed on the agenda. That comprises of course, the September 25th meeting minutes, the September license renewal campaign results marked there with the 1,442 renewals that have met the requirements, and then each individual license applicant that is listed so that the audience knows that is through C through L. So as the commission considers that, your approval of this portion of the agenda, the consent agenda, would be an approval of each individual item listed on the agenda. Or the commission may pull one aside and discuss it separately. The choice is yours, but it will require a vote and an approval to the chair.
Yes, the director has reminded me, you see, commissioners, on your agenda, there are several that are effective November 1st, which is Saturday. And so this motion, if it is successful in approval, does include that. Correct, Director? Okay, Brian, thank you. Just to point that out to the commissioners and also to those present and listening online. Are there any questions before we go to a motion? I can do it. We can do it either way. Any questions for Brian? Commissioners, we're all good. A motion, please. Commissioner Orton. So moved for approval and a second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Tuif on the second. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will place the motion that we approve the item. This is a long agenda here. These recognitions, including the approval of the minutes from September. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Please, Mr. Orton.
Just make a comment.
Please.
It's very rare that I ever have people out in the public asking me about items on our consent agenda. And I don't know about the rest of the commissioners, but I've had more than a few questions about when the two lounges at the Salt Lake City Airport, the two new lounges at the Salt Lake City Airport were going to open, as if I had any control over that. So I wanted to report to my friends who are interested that both the Sky Club, the Delta Sky Club, and the Amex Centurion Club are now open. They are in Terminal B, and which is important for non-Delta and Delta flyers. And I also noted with interest that this is the second largest Sky Club of any of the Sky Clubs all over the world. So anyway, just for my friends who were interested, they are now open. So
thank you very much for calling that out. I saw the news report last day or two about those opening up, and there was one of the news sources I was looking at had a nice photo, an image of the lounge, the area at the Amex, club. So thank you very much. Great. All right. Very good. All right, we're moving along here to item now number 12. And Rob, if you'd like to come forward now and present those items, we have new applicants for bar establishment.
All right, let's try that again.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Commissioners. So we actually have 31 full-year bar licenses available for the entire state. We have 3 applicants today. The first is the Cave Saloon. This is in Heber City. This application is complete. Then we have Pepper's Cantina Inc. in St. George. This one is conditional and they have a violation history. The violation was sale to a minor in 2023 and a second one in 2024. And then we have Black Rock Mountain Resort in Wasatch County. This one is conditional also. And these applications are complete and are ready for your consideration.
Thank you very, very much. Now I'm getting a better look at that. Is that a costume or just that's just your suit?
It's just my October.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Any questions for Rob before we proceed to a motion and a vote?
Where do you buy something like that?
Okay, there you
That
go.
was the question that I had that popped into
Halloween.
my head. Yeah.
He's a Tom Hanks character.
Get anything online these
You
days.
can get anything online. Yeah, that's the scary thing.
Chair, I'll place the motion.
Thank you.
And then I have a comment too. So I'll make a motion that we approve the bar establishment applications for the 3 applicants listed on our agenda.
Thank you. Commissioner Tenner, could you give us a second? Second on that. Okay, now comments from commissioners.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had to talk quotas around bar licenses, and I think we're in a good place, and I appreciate Rob mentioning that we do have 31 licenses available. I think it sounds like a lot, but let me be the bearer of news. So, it's been a while since I think we've felt like we've had scarcity in bar licenses since the legislature adjusted the quota upwards and changed the frequency of when we were awarded licenses. And I think so far it's been working. I think we're very grateful to the legislature for realizing that there was an issue with bar and full service restaurant licenses. I do want to point out that while we have 31 available to us, we get one more in December, March 2026, and May 2026 before the next, license dump comes to us in July of 19 licenses. So we have 34 licenses between now and June. And if you do the math, that's about 2.8 licenses per meeting. So we're approving 3 licenses today. If we continue at this frequency, we're going to run into another scarcity issue in summer of 2026. We also no longer have the authority to hold back licenses, to consider anything other than when someone applies for a bar license. So if there were, a new resort or a big investment property, or even, a community without any bar in it, we would still have to favor whoever applies first, no matter when they were going to open. So I just point this out as some of our commissioners are new to the scarcity debates that we've had in the past. And we will probably be having those within the next year again. I still think that the proper policy thing for us to do would be to adjust our state's quota for bar licenses to adjust with our population, and not putting it on the legislature to keep tweaking the number in statute. So I still think that that's something that's needed. I am grateful for the licenses we do have, and I think our business and licensee community is grateful as well. I still think that we need to think about tweaking the licenses. We will be feeling the pinch next year, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we won't get as many applicants. We'll see. But I did, Rob, that's not a question. It's just a really long comment. So just wanted to get out my calculator and do some math for the commission while we're in a good place.
That is an excellent, excellent observation, Commissioner Tui, from your experience. That's very much appreciated. I want to mention, and I mentioned this to Director Evans, that I was at a social event. Actually, we were rounding up the buffalo on Antelope Island, and
Nice.
Representative Jefferson Burton was there. And as we rode along, we talked about alcohol policy, and Representative Burton will have he'll be the lead on the 2026 bill, and we talked about the quota and scarcity thing and situation, and he said, please keep us informed and let us know any adjustments that perhaps need to be made. So there you go.
Mr.
And-
Chair, could I follow up with a question?
Yes, you may, please.
So as we look at licenses coming and pacing ourselves to 3 or 2.5, whatever you think it is there a seasonality to applications? Are people more prone to build bars in the spring or fall or summer that we're aware of?
Rob, you could answer that, or anyone could, the director, anyone respond. Go ahead, Rob.
Get more applications in the spring for restaurants, bars, all license types. Spring is usually the busiest time, but it has been busy. It used to be in the winter, it would really die down, and it hasn't as much as it used to, but spring is the biggest time.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Anything else? Thank you. I think it's ready. Director, anything? You're okay? Go ahead.
Nope,
Just
answered
okay,
it
thank you.
correctly. Mm-hmm.
We're ready now to place the motion, the approval of the bar establishment licenses. We've had a motion and a second and a discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes also unanimously. Well, how about that? Look at the time. Not bad. We're now at item number 13, comments from commissioners and public, and we will call on the public if anyone would like to address. I wanted just to say, and I think other commissioners will too, that we just so appreciate Vicki, her long years of service. I've been on the commission for 3 years and met her early on, and of course was sworn in by her, as I think all of you went through that process, and her kindness and her she was fun to kid around with, and I'm going to miss that, and just fun to have her presence and her exactness in helping run this commission and communicating with commissioners. As we all know, we get a lot of emails, we get the commission folder prior to the meeting, and just the efficiency that Vicki has performed her function for so many years. And so I personally, and all of you too, and you have the open mic here, wish Vicki well in her retirement and all the very, very best. We do miss her and wish her well. Commissioner Orton.
Thanks, Chair Handy. I just want to say, so I'm going into my final year as a DABS commissioner. And, through the years, I think many of us have said, what are we going to do when you retire, Vicki? And it never occurred to me that she would leave before me. And so I just want to say how much we, I think a lot of people don't realize we are not full-time commissioners. We are part-time volunteer commissioners. We share Vicki's help and we have shared Vicki's help and assistance in the past with the director and the rest of the staff. And it is yeoman's work. And we, when I heard that she was retiring, it was a shock and a little bit of concern. And so I just want to let Vicki know, because I feel like she might be listening. She's a little type A that way, wanting to make sure everything, that we have successfully gotten through this meeting, with her just sitting on the sidelines for once. I just want to let her know that Melissa has done a great job stepping up, trying to figure out all of our little quirks, things we prefer that aren't necessary. And I also want to let her know that I do have Starbursts that were put in front of me today, as do the rest of the commissioners. And we are going to carry on, but it won't be the same. And we won't have, Vicki had an illustrious career before any of us were here. And I just, and not just at DABS, but at the Miller, organization. And I just want to say thank you to Vicky. And she is missed already. And I look forward to an opportunity to see her smiling face again. That's all.
Anyone
Sure,
else?
yeah.
Commissioner Tui?
Can't say no to a perfectly good microphone. I've worked with Vicky for a little over 4 years in my role as a commissioner, and I've worked with a lot of different people in different parts of my career, a lot of state employees, private sector employees. Vicky stands out to me as someone with an impeccable taste for putting on a good meeting. And I'm picky about my meetings. She knows how to keep people on track. She knows when to be a little mean and when to be nice. She has an incredible amount of grit, determination, and professionalism. I have seen people attempt to mistreat her before. It was a sight to behold. She's able to respond to people with a smile, but with the right amount of pushback that one should have in her role. She's incredibly loyal. She's protective of the commission and of her bosses in the past. And I think that a lot of the work that she did went unnoticed, which is exactly what she wanted. I think that we all owe her a lot of gratitude for her years of service and her dedication to the state and to the job. And I just wanted to make sure that I was able to say that. Thank you, Chair.
Very, very welcome. Anyone else? Commissioner Tennant?
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words. And I've been thinking about this in preparation for this meeting, what to even say about Vicky. And I really have I almost have no words, because she's, as my fellow commissioners have said, she's just the most incredible person and human being. And then you add to that, just this, just so amazing at her job. It's not very often that you have those two things come together, and the way that they come together for Vicky. And I, like I said, I just almost don't have words, and I have just appreciated all the time that I've gotten to work with Vicky. In another life, I worked on Capitol Hill, and I could always count on Vicky to help me out with whatever we needed to know about DABC then. And then having the opportunity to work with her in this role on the commission and also as chair, just the way she just makes things work is amazing. And I so appreciate Vicky, and it's heavy today to not have her here with us today. So Vicky, just if you are listening, thinking a lot about you, and you're just the best.
Commissioner Terrazon, Vice Chair?
Yes, I just wanted to say, hopefully Vicky is listening. And the only really thing I wanted to say was that Vicky is so kind. And when you come onto this commission, it can be very overwhelming. When we started, there were binders, huge binders that we had to read. And she was just so kind and welcoming and answered any questions. And I think that'll be my biggest takeaway of my time with Vicky has just been her kindness to me and just her welcoming presence and just patience with all of the questions and the emails and the text messages. So I think, like I said, when you come into this, it can be very overwhelming, and she was a very calming presence. And so I hope that she's taking the time to enjoy a little bit of that time and patience for herself and just not having us bombard her. So.
Yeah. Commissioner, Director Evans.
I just want to say I can confirm Vicky is listening. So I'm really glad that I'm just really glad she got to hear these words, because she deserves to know the impact she's had on all of us. I do think she has a statement that she prepared to be read that Brian will read for us. So we can hear from her. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yes, I will read this verbatim. She sent this over to me, wants it to be read publicly. Vicky wanted to publicly thank Erica Evans, Michelle Schmidt, and Todd Darrington, along with Tara Tui and the commissioners for their unwavering support during the transition to this next challenging chapter in her life.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Vicki. We miss you and we love you, and we want to stay in touch with you. Thank you, Director and all. I think we're ready now for it. Would anyone like to address the commission? If anyone would like to address the commission, please come forward to the microphone. Tell us who you are, and we can give you a couple minutes to do that, but we'd love to hear from you if there's anyone. Melissa, is there anyone online who would like to address the commission? No. So going once, going twice. We wish you all a fun Halloween tomorrow, whatever you're doing and celebrating and having fun, and safe travels wherever you are going. And we will see you again next month. And I'll call now for a final motion of adjournment. Vice Chair Terrazon, so moved for adjournment. A second is obviously there. All in favor say aye. And we are adjourned. We wish you well.